Hey my good friends, Sam Haymart with Test Driven TV. My 2022 Ford Maverick Hybrid XL has finally arrived. Finally! After 6 months and 7 days of waiting. So we're going to talk today about what the process of ordering and purchasing a new Ford has been like for me, for a lot of people out there that are sharing my experience, but also people who are thinking about ordering a new Maverick or any other Ford right now. This is a good roadmap of what your experience might be like. So first of all, I ordered a new 2022 Ford Maverick XL Hybrid last June 30th to be exact. When I saw the press release for $19,995 standard hybrid pickup truck, it just made sense to buy it. So I did. So what I ordered is an Area 51 color base model XL. The only and single option I put on this truck was the $100 trailer hitch receiver. I really wanted to have the basic truck, not a fully loaded thing like I always get in press vehicles. And so we're going to be doing a lot of content on this truck. And so I wanted to have something that was a little different than what most reviewers always talk about. So the truck arrives, here it is. I think it's nice and clean. These are its baby pictures. You can see in the bed, it's nice and shiny. Nothing in there yet in the way of a bed liner. The interior on this, navy pier with black cloth seats. No options in there whatsoever. It does have the standard factory floor mats on the floor in the front. And there's a lot of things I intend to be doing with this truck down the road. We're going to be doing a lot of video content a little bit later, a test drive coming up next. But let's talk about the ordering process. June 30th, I got online and placed a reservation on the Ford website. Within hours of placing that reservation online, I got a phone call from one of the two dealerships that I put my reservation in with. That was Sanderson Ford in Glendale, Arizona. The other one, Camelback Ford in Phoenix, never ever responded. So they lost the business on this particular sale. Once I did get in touch with the salesman at Sanderson Ford, we had a price that we agreed to, which in my case was MSRP, nothing additional added on to that. It's the first time I've ever paid that much for a vehicle. I've never paid MSRP in my life, but the way the market is right now, I feel at the end of the day, looking back on the whole thing, quite lucky that that's all I paid. So that was the agreement that was made. He put the order in. Within hours on that very same day, I got an email from Ford Motor Company that verified that the order was placed and everything was set to go. Very key, because a lot of people out there had a dealership that didn't quite get it together. Never got their order in right, or maybe waited a while, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of people out there that never got that confirmation from Ford, and maybe there's not even an order that's been placed. So that was a key thing that I made sure I was looking for right away. In August, scheduling for all of these customer orders that started in June and proceeded all the way up to current, those orders started getting put into production scheduling. So starting in August, every Thursday, Ford would send out emails to the people that won the lottery, so to speak, and got their vehicle scheduled. And so starting in August, I started looking for that weekly Thursday email telling me when my vehicle would be scheduled. The thing that's really of note here is that a lot of people, and I got on one of the forums and really started following what's going on with the conversation with a lot of other customers across the country, and I'm glad I did, because I was able to keep abreast of what was going on because Ford wasn't telling us. All of the production scheduling, almost all of it, was EcoBoost models. Hybrids weren't getting built. They weren't getting scheduled for production. And over the months, a lot of people started asking, what's going on? Why are hybrids not getting scheduled? All of the questions and all of the speculation really came to a head when in September, a document went out from Ford to dealerships that said there will be no more hybrid scheduling until further notice. In September, news surfaces from multiple sources and breaks across the automotive media landscape that the hybrid production and scheduling is delayed indefinitely because the vehicle does not have EPA approval. Ford denies all these reports, right? I reached out to them, almost all the media reached out to Ford to confirm this story, and Ford said, oh no, everything's fine, don't worry. We were just sort of left to wonder. Myself, I did a big video about hybrids delayed, and that's linked in our playlist at the end as well as down below. A lot of other media outlets covered this, but the story just kind of went away because Ford denied it. Now in October on the 14th, I finally get an email from Ford telling me that my own Maverick has been scheduled for production in December on the week of the 6th. October 20th, News breaks that the Maverick gets 42 miles to the gallon city, and EPA approval is not yet done. It's coming, but don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Essentially, Ford finally admitted that yes, indeed, hybrid production had been set back, right? They couldn't sell them, so they weren't building them and scheduling them. And, everyone just kind of went, oh, okay. And like myself, I'm going, okay, so my vehicle's getting built in December. The very next day, Ford sends out an apology email to me and all of the people who are waiting for a hybrid saying essentially, guess what, everybody? It's great. Your truck's going to get 42 miles to the gallon city. We're sorry it's taking a long time. It's going to have EPA approval soon. And because you're waiting and because you're going to be one of the first and you've got yours, don't worry. You don't have to get in the lottery anymore. You're going to get a free fits accessory kit, the little trash bin and some of the little accessories that fit in the fit slots. So, we were all just kind of thrown a little prize to shut up and be quiet. And at this point, I'm fine with it. I know my truck's going to take a while, and I've seen a lot of people who had canceled their hybrid order just to get one sooner and got an EcoBoost, and I hope they're happy. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people out there that are, feeding their EcoBoost 20 miles to the gallon and maybe wishing they'd waited. But that's what happened. Ford finally fessed up and said, yeah, there was a delay. They're going to be here after the first of the year. And that's what my email said. You're going to get your truck after the first of the year. That email was followed up a week later on the 28th, saying that my production had been delayed for an extra week, that it would be built the week of December 13th. On November 15th, Ford announced that all hybrid Mavericks have been sold out for the 22 model year. That was the deadline for ordering one. So if you did not get your order in by the 15th, you're going to have to wait till next summer when they open orders for the 2023 Maverick, or hope to maybe find one on a dealer lot sitting someplace that someone who ordered one didn't take, or that maybe one of the dealers might have gotten as stock. Either way, you're probably going to be paying a lot more for it than if you had ordered it and agreed to a price up front. On November 29th, news came out that the okay to buy order has come out on the Maverick, which means Ford said that they got their approval, or they got assurance of the EPA approval, and then they could start actually shipping the Maverick to its customers. And so at this point, a number of Mavericks had been made that were hybrids and were just sort of sitting around waiting to be shipped. They couldn't actually ship them to the dealers until they got EPA approval. And after that, into December, Maverick hybrid production really cranked up in earnest. December 17th, I got the happiest email I'd seen in a long time. It said that my vehicle had been built and that it was going to be shipped very soon. And that was followed up just a few days later on the 21st saying that my Maverick had been shipped. So they were putting it on a train down in Hermosillo, Mexico, and sending it up my way. It gave me a delivery window of the 26th of December through the 1st of the year. First of the year came along. I hadn't seen or heard anything about my Maverick, and so it's New Year's weekend and everything's closed. Nobody's at work, and so I'm skulking around my local rail yard to see if I can find my truck sitting someplace over here. Wait, there it is. There it is, right over there. I can see just a sliver of it. Just a tiny little sliver. There was my truck sitting there in the sea of cars waiting to be trucked to the local dealerships. And of course, there's a truck driver shortage, so it sat there for a week. On January 6th, I got a phone call from my salesman saying that they had taken delivery of my truck, and he set an appointment for the next morning, Friday on the 7th. And so I went and picked it up. There you go. And so I got to tell you that my dealership experience with them was great. They did not add anything on other than a $499 dock fee, which is pretty common in the industry, and sales tax. They did not hard sell me for any baloney, like magic wax or magic air in the tires or magic tint or any of the magic the dealerships like to tell you have to have or everything's going to fall apart. So it was a very good experience. There were no addendums, nothing additional that I didn't want, didn't expect, or would have walked out of the dealership over, and they were very friendly. So if you're in Phoenix, I highly recommend Sanderson Ford. They were a great dealership. Now let's talk about Ford though. The buying experience, sort of what I think about dealing with Ford Motor Company in this. The reservation process was very easy. Now, as I stated earlier, I put my reservation in with 2 separate Ford dealerships just to cover my bases in case one of them dropped the ball. Because I used to work in the car business. I know how it works sometimes. Some dealerships, they got monkeys working there and nobody knows what the hell's going on. Other dealerships are on it. And as it turned out, exactly what happened. One dealership just never got back with me. The other on the ball got back with me. So I was very lucky that I had a dealership that got with me. We got my order in right away. It was done right, confirmed with the company, and on I go. There are a lot of people out there that weren't so lucky. They got dealerships that were completely idiots, or they didn't do it right, or they tried to screw them, or whatever the case may be. Their experience, their outcome is completely dependent on whether they chose a good dealership or not. I got a good dealership, luck of the draw. The other thing with Ford Motor Company is that the level of communication that came from Ford relative to what's going on all these months where we're not getting news on, when's the truck coming. They originally said when they took the order that it would be fall. That's what I expected when I bought the truck. I thought I would be driving a truck in September or October. That's what I was told. As it turned out, it was January. Now that's fine with me. I had other vehicles, obviously, but there's a lot of people that really got train wrecked because of that. And especially when it came to production delays with the hybrid, they weren't forthcoming with information on what was going on with that. I reached out to Ford PR and communications myself. I'm a journalist. I would have thought I would have gotten some kind of truth or some kind of something, but I was gaslighted just like the public was when it came to, where are the hybrids, what's going on? They didn't admit the truth until they had to, essentially. Until things started showing up out there in the media like documents from dealerships and intercompany communique that was counter to what the PR arm was saying. So it's not like ordering from Tesla, right? You order a Tesla, dink, you do it online, you do everything online, the car shows up, you go pick it up, that's it. You don't have to depend on whether your dealership's got their shit together or not. And that really is my biggest criticism of the buying process. Ford's Jim Farley has been in interviews saying that they want to go to this order and buy type model. Well, that's great, but you need to do it like Tesla. You need to let us bypass the dealerships and get away from the rodeo and get away from, the sometimes lug nuts that work at those places that either don't have their crap together or they want to screw us. We'd love that. We'd love to be able to go to an order model, and most people I think would be happy with that if it wasn't like going to the 3-ring circus and hoping for the best. It would be great if there was a single point where you could go and handle it all online, and then maybe they shovel that off to a dealership for the delivery and they get a spiff or whatever they need to cover their give them a little profit, whatever it is, but don't put them in control of the thing. Have a central control and a central consistent place like Tesla and some of the other new car companies that are doing purely online ordering. So there you go. Now, I will have a complete and detailed first drive review coming up next. You'll be able to see that right there on our Maverick playlist. I have done a ton of content in the last 6 months on the Maverick. There's a lot of information there, a lot of different things for you to check out. And better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel right there where you will be informed of everything we do. Either way, stay tuned.